revolt or a revolution?
Ma'am, formation.
Yes. The first chapter you are going to study is about French Revolution. Okay. So what do you mean by a revolution?
Ma'am, changing
Changing.
within time.
Changing.
Ma'am, changing in a time.
Changing in a time. The answer is not perfectly okay. But change is there. Children, all of you, Karthik, Melita, Shwadi, Krishna, all of you turn on your video. I can't see you over here.
Ma'am, development.
Development, no. Any other idea?
Change in position.
Change
Role
in
of French
position.
people.
Yes?
Role of French people.
No. Elisa have a connectivity issue. What about others? Melita, Lakshmi, Nanda, Dominic. Don't hide the. Please turn on your video. I want to see you all. Okay, children. Let me share you about a revolution. Okay, a revolution is a successful attempt, okay, or an attempt by a group of people to change the political system of that country. Okay, means if any political changes that is not suitable for the people, okay, they will lead a movement against that structure. That is meant by revolution. They want, if the people needed a change, they will do something against that system. That is meant by a revolution. Is it clear, children? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that means it is an attempt by a group of people. Okay, it is an attempt by a group of people to change the political system of that country. Okay, so we are going to study about French Revolution, that some things happened over there in France. Okay, but the people, the group of people in that country were not in favor of that situation. So that people revolted against the government or the political system. That is meant by French Revolution. Is it clear, children? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What do you mean by a revolution then?
The attempt to change a
Attempt to change the existing political system. Very good. Who said this?
theory.
Srihari. Very good. Okay. So it is an attempt by a group of people to change the existing political system. Clear, children?
Yes.
Okay. See, children, please respond whenever I am asking any question. Okay, then only I could communicate you more. Okay, and that time only you need to unmute. Okay, okay, children. So, revolution. So, the French Revolution happened in France and it lasted for 10 years. Okay, and it began in the year 1789. Let's note down the points. French Revolution, it lasted for 10 years and it began in the year 1789. Okay, and ends in 1799. Okay, and there was various causes. Okay, not only one single or a reason for the for this outbreak of this revolt. Okay, various causes for this revolution. So we are going to discuss what are the causes for the French Revolution. What are the reasons for the outbreak of revolution in France? Okay, children?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Let me share a screen. Mute your audio. Mute it. Okay, so the people of France, they were revolted against the system, against the existing political system. Okay, and 1774, Louis XVI was the king of France. Okay, and he was from Bourbon family. Have you heard this Bourbon? Means this name ever? Bourbon. Children, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Can you tell me this Bourbon? Have you heard about Bourbon?
I haven't heard.
No
No,
one?
ma'am. No, no.
A biscuit's
Yes, ma'am.
biscuit name is Bourbon, right? Okay, so Louis XVI was the king, okay, of France, okay, and he was from Bourbon family, okay. He was from
Bourbon family.
yes, and he was just 20 years old when he ascended the throne of France, okay, and he married an Austrian prince. Her name was Mary Antoinette, okay, and you know, when he, upon his accession, means when he ascended the throne, he found an empty treasury. What do you mean by treasury?
Where all the gold and
Gold. Yeah, particularly regarding a country's treasury means that the financial resources where they have kept. Okay, okay. So when he found, means when he ascended the throne, he found an empty treasury, means that there was not much income in France during his time. Okay, and why this happened, you know, long war. Okay, means long war drained the financial resources of the France. Under Louis XVI, France helped 13 American colonies, okay, to gain independence from their common enemy, that is Britain. Children, I will write the points, then so I think that is easy for you to note down the points, right? Who is the king of France? Tell me the name.
Louis 16.
Louis XVI. Okay, and he was from Bourbon family, and he was only 20 years old. 20 years old when he ascended the throne. Okay, and he married to an Austrian princess. Okay, her name was Mary Antoinette. Okay, and when he ascended the throne, he found an empty treasury. Okay, means there was various causes for the empty treasury of France. The first among them was the long years of war. Okay, long years of war has drained the financial resources of France. Okay, what means under Louis XVI, France helped 13 American colonies, okay, for their independence, for their war against Britain. Okay, so France helped America, and that war caused more debt to France. Debt means, what do you mean by debt?
Ma'am, low economy.
Yeah, good. So that caused more debt. Okay, so France under Louis XVI helped 13 American colonies, okay, for their independence. Okay, war against Britain. That war added more debt to France. Okay, and the France means lenders, means the who lenders means who gave the money on the basis of interest. Okay, so the lenders who paid money to France, they increase the percentage, 10% more interest they demanded. Okay, so if a government is in a financial crisis, you just think if our government, like our Indian government, if it is that government is in a financial crisis, what they will do to recover that?
They could ask help from other countries.
That's possible, or any other chance. See, before that, why, how this government is trying to, means how this government is running our country? How do it meets
Ma'am,
its
by the
financial
taxes.
requirements? Yes. Karthik, can you tell me?
Ma'am, by the tax money.
Very good, very good. That was the correct answer. Okay, so if a government having any financial outcomes, they have in a financial crisis, naturally the government will increase the taxes, right? We, the people, are paying the taxes to the government, right? Okay,
Yes.
by
Ma'am,
using this tax, the government, what the government is doing, they are meeting means our daily expenses. They have to run the universities, public places, everything they need to look after, right? So they are using the financial resources that they were collected from us, from the people, as taxes. Okay, so here also the same thing happened. Okay, under Louis 60, the France, okay, France helped 13 American colonies, okay, to gain independence from their common enemy. That means Britain. Okay, so from their common enemy, so that war added more debt to France. Okay, they have taken the money for credit. Okay, and the lenders who gave the money on credit, they raised or they increased the interest, 10% more increase interest they demanded. Okay, so this government, that means the French government, has to, for running the government, what they have to do?
they have to increase the tax.
Yes, they need to increase the taxes. Okay, is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this point is clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Long years of war. Drained the financial resources of the country. Okay, that is the main cause for the outbreak of the revolution. That means that it was one of the main cause for the revolution. Long years of war drained the financial resources of the country. Under Louis XVI, France helped 13 American colonies, okay, against Britain, the war against Britain. That war added more debt. Okay, and the lenders asked more interest. That means 10% increase in the interest. So there was no other way for this Louis XVI. He need to increase the taxes. Okay, and also added to this was the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at the immense Paris, means immense palace of Versailles. They were maintaining a court, okay, at Versailles. So that also added more expenses to the government. Shadi Krishna? Shadi Krishna, can you tell me the problem faced by Louis XVI when he was on the throne?
Long year of war.
Can you tell a bit louder?
The money lenders increase the
It's not audible. Tell me.
the long year of war
Yes.
drained the financial.
Yes.
So
Long years of war drained the financial resources of France. Okay. And which war we mentioned about?
French Revolution, the war between America and Britain.
Yes, yes. France helped America, 13 colonies, 13 American colonies to gain their independence from Britain. Okay. And France helped these 13 American colonies, and that war added more debt. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then the other one added to this was the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at Versailles. What do you mean by court? Extravagant court.
Court in the palace.
Ah, yes. So, cost of maintaining an extravagant means spacious palace, okay, at Versailles. The place name. Okay. So, all these things make Louis XVI to increase the taxes, because to meet its daily expenses, okay, means that they have to run the universities, schools, colleges, government offices. Okay, so the government needs some financial resources. In order to meet all these expenses, the government need to increase the taxes. Okay, is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. And the next, okay, during this period, okay, the French society was divided into three estates, three groups. Okay, and the first estate mean the clergy. Don't write it now. First, you listen out here. After that, I will give time for you to write it. Okay, so the first group, the French society was divided into three estates. Okay, and the first estate means the clergy. Clergy, have you heard the term clergy?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what do you mean by when some people means who
Priest.
invested with the special functions in the church? Okay, so the first estate meant clergy. Okay, and second estates means nobility, means that noble people like nobles, lords, etc. Okay, and the third estate is a group of people like big businessmen, peasants, artisans, servants, and landless laborers, etc. So, first, the French society during this time was divided into three sections or three estates. And first estate means the clergy, the people who invested some special functions in the church. Okay, and second estates means nobility, nobles, lords, etc. And the third estates belongs to a group of people. That means both rich and both poor people, both rich and poor section of the people belong to the third estate. That is, big businessmen were there, peasants were there, artisans, servants, landless laborers. Okay, all these were included in the third estates. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Then you can note down this point now. The French society was divided into three estates. Karthik, can you tell me the answer?
And what
The
I
division of French society?
went to three estates.
Yes. First estate,
Clergy, clergy,
clergy. Then,
nobility.
yes. Third one,
Then big businessmen,
yeah,
peasants,
yes. Okay.
artisans, and land
Artisans, not
laborers.
artisans, artisans and landless laborers, servants, all these people were belong to the third estate. And the most interesting thing
Land
is that only this third estate people were needed to pay the taxes. Okay. The Society of Estate is part of the feudal society in France, and the French society was divided into three estates. The first is clergy, the second estate, that means nobility, and the third estate belongs to a group of peoples like big businessmen, peasants, artisans, servants, landless laborers. And the most interesting part of this was that only the people belongs to the third estates were needed to pay the taxes. Mute your audio, children. Mute it. I don't want to hear any more sound from your home. Please mute it. Mute it. Okay, children, have you noted down?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I have told you only the three members of the third estates needed to pay the taxes, right? Okay. And there were two types of taxes. Okay. First one is tithe. T-I-T-H-E. Tax levied by the church. The third estate people needed to pay this tax to the church. That means 1/10 of the agricultural production. Means whatever they have produced, they need to pay 1/10 of their entire production to the church. That is meant by tithe. T-I-T-H-E. And one more other tax is there, that is taille. Taille, that should needed to pay directly to the state. Okay, I have told you the reason why Louis XVI increased the taxes. Okay, but only the members of the third estates needed to pay the tax to the church and also to the state. What is the name of the tax levied by the church? Tithe. Okay, T-I-T-H-E. That means the 1/10 of their production they need to give to the church. And one more tax is there to be paid directly to the state, that is taille. Okay, and there was a number, and there were a number of indirect taxes also on the daily consumption activity, means things like salt and tobacco. So there were a number of taxes were levied on the people of France. Only the members of the third estates were needed to pay the tax. The first two estates were given some privileges by birth. They were given some privileges by birth. That means by birth, if he was from a clergy or he was from a clergy family or he was from a noble family, they were exempted from paying the taxes. Is it clear, Adulya? Adulya VS?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Arun Bhaskar?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me the division of estates during the French Revolution or during France during the 17th, 18th century?
There were three estates.
Yeah.
First one, clergy.
Yes.
Second one, nobility.
Yeah.
Third one, businessmen,
Yes.
peasants,
A group of people
artisans.
like peasants. And what was the most important fact about this estates, you know? Only the members of the third estates were needed to pay the tax. Okay. And what was the tax levied by the church? Ashik Joshi?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the name of the tax levied by the church? Tithe, right. Okay. Then that means 1/10 of their total production they need to give on to the church. Okay. And there was one more tax also that needed to pay directly to the state, that is tail. Okay. And there was some more indirect taxes, okay, on their daily consumption like salt, tobacco. They need to pay the taxes to them. Only the members of the third estate needed to pay the taxes. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me revise the points which we have studied. Okay, children, listen over here. The French Revolution, okay, it was a period, means it started on 1789 and lasted in 1899. It lasted for 10 years, okay. So the people of France revolted against the existing political system of France, okay. And who was the king of France during this time?
Louis 16.
Louis the 16th. Okay, and he was only just 20 years of old. And when he was on the throne, the empty treasury, means he found an empty treasury. The first reason for that was the long years of war drained the financial resources of that country. And he was very despotic. Despotic rule means, what do you mean by despotic? Have you heard about monarchy and democracy? What do you
Yes,
mean
ma'am.
by monarchy? Monarchical form of government?
The kings and
Yes.
queens are the rules.
Yes, it's a rule by a king or a queen. Means that they were, means naturally these people very despotic. Means that they do whatever they like. Okay, so most of the country, the people will choose the democratic form of government, right? What do you mean by democratic form of government? I know that you all know this answer.
People elect the rulers.
Yes, we are electing our rulers and we are ruling by ourselves. It is a rule by the people. Okay, so here in France, it was a monarchical form of government was there. Louis XVI was the king, and his despotic rule means that his actions or whatever he have done for the people was not at all liked by the people of that country. And there was a financial crisis in France. The first reason was the war. Okay, they helped 13 American colonies against their common enemy, Britain. The war added more debt. Okay, they have taken the money for the war by credit. Okay, so the lenders means who gave the money. Okay, Lakshmi Nanda, can you tell me anything? Do you want to say something? Lakshmi Nanda?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so this lenders, they have taken the money on credit. So the lenders who gave the money, okay, raised the interest. Okay, raise the interest of the means 10% increase interest they demanded. Okay, so they have to pay more money as interest. Okay, so to meet its daily expenses, they have to run a universities, colleges, and then government offices. Okay, so the government needs some extra resources, but they have not enough money to handle all this. So the government, or so Louis XVI, needed to increase the taxes. Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then added to this was the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at Versailles. Okay, Versailles, they are maintaining an extra or spacious court. Okay, for maintaining that, they need to spend some more money. That also added more debt to the king. So naturally, he increased the taxes. Okay, then the other important change, why the people revolted, there will be not a sudden cause. Okay, so the most important issue happened in France was the division of the French society. It was divided into 3 estates, and first estate, clergy, the people who were acted as the priest in the church, and the second estate means the nobility, nobles, and the third estate belongs to different types of people. Both rich and the poor section of people were there in third estate, that is big businessmen, peasants, artisans, servants, and landless laborers, etc. The interesting fact about among this division of society was that only the members of the third estates need to pay the taxes. Okay, these people, that means this clergy and the nobles, were exempted from paying the taxes. They are getting some privileges by birth. Okay, and there were a certain types of taxes that were levied from the third estate members, and it was tithe, that is 1/10 of the production they need to pay to the church, and tail, that was the tax to be paid directly to the state. And also there was another taxes, indirect taxes of the daily consumption goods. Daily consumption, daily we needed some things to live, so like salt, tobacco, all these they levied indirect taxes. So all these taxes was fell upon the members of the third estate. Okay, is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay, so, and you know, this most of the people of this third estate, okay, were acted as persons. Okay, they were acting as the servants. Okay, and 90% of the population was doing agriculture. Means the main occupation of the people was agriculture, but most of the lands were under the control of this clergy and the noble people. Okay, the peasants are working, there were landless laborers were there. Okay, so we can imagine the condition of the people of the third estates. The poor people become, means this increase in the tax that hit Mostly the third section people. That means the poor people like servants, landless laborers, etc. Okay, that we will discuss on the next class. The time to live up. Children, please read the textbook, and if you have any doubt, just message me. I will tell your ma'am to add me in your group. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
See you in the next class. Thank you,
Thank
children.
you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.